How dare I ask Kyle Brandt if he knows a rock band?
Filter.
It's like asking the Ravens, like, you gonna beat up on somebody this weekend?
Right.
They're about their business. It was a big week around the league for some teams. Most impressive win award, Peter, goes to.
Going right there, Baltimore. Another NFC heavy comes into their building, and what do you know? The Ravens just absolutely silenced them. The Ravens have now beaten the Lions and the Seahawks by a combined score of 75-9.
Wow.
In the past 3 weeks. Lions, that was hyped up as a potential Super Bowl matchup. Then we fast forward after a win over the Cardinals, so now this was going to be a Super Bowl matchup. Seahawks are coming to Baltimore, and the mighty Seahawks are fresh off the win. Seattle's the 2 seed in the NFC. It was never in doubt. Ravens, offense, amazing. Odell looked really good in this game. We talked about Keaton Mitchell, Gus Edwards, the Gus bus was going. And then the defense, 4 sacks, completely silencing what has been a high-powered Seahawks offense. Ravens ran all over them, threw all over them, and they completely silenced the Seattle Seahawks. Look at the highest point differential this season. It's not even close. Yeah. It's the Ravens, plus 115. I'll tell you, I was really impressed with the Lions win. I said, look, they're getting better and better as the season goes on. Statement win, when we're not even talking about it because it was such a blowout, that's like the ultimate statement. Very cool win for the Ravens. I think they are the heavies right now in the AFC North. Of course, we'll see how the season plays out, that AFC North division. If the playoffs were to start today, all 4 teams would be in the tournament.
That Ravens team is scary, not just offensively. Their defense, like they held with 28 yards rushing. Like Kenneth Walker, I mean, that guy's been one of the toughest tackles in the league, and yet they showed up. Since you took that game, I think we all agree with that one. I'm going to go with the Bengals. I'm going to go with their victory over the Bills. Look, I think a lot of people thought, and myself included, that the Bills were going to come in here and this was going to come down to the wire. And, I thought, hey, the Bills are going to they're going to right the ship. No, the Bengals are the ones that have righted the ship. They started out 1-3, and everybody was saying, oh, my gosh, like, what's wrong with this offense? What's wrong with Joe Burrow? Boom. All of a sudden, they rattle off a 4-game win streak. Like, this was, and this to me was the exclamation point because they came out of the gate like, hey, we're ready to play. Like, marched right down the field, opening drive. And it wasn't just, hey, one big play by Jamar Chase and he breaks 3 tackles. No, this was Joe Burrow dealing. This was hitting everybody, hitting the tight ends, hitting T. Higgins, Joe Mixon getting involved. This was a complete win. We've talked about their defense. Lou Anarumo's done a great job with that defense, and they've been really bowed up. But I think for that victory right there against the Bills, right now, if you're the Bengals, you may not be sitting first in the division right now, but you're feeling pretty damn good about yourself.
You know who else is? The Texans.
Yeah, we talked about all morning.
The Houston Texans. DeMeco Ryans, the first-year head coach of Texas, probably a little perturbed that they are giving up 37 points to the Buccaneers. They let them back into that game time and time again. But it's fine, DeMeco, because you drafted C.J. Stroud. It's fine, DeMeco, because you have Nico Collins on your team. And it's fine because Tank Dell is there to pace you as well. C.J. Stroud, I know we're going to talk about him later in this hour, so I want to make sure the light is shown on other players as well. And I'm going to go there. I'm going to go Collins with 153 receiving yards and a touchdown, and Tank Dell with 114 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Such a great.
And then there was the wonky thing that was happening with their kicker. We're also going to talk about that. Dare Ogunbowale is a running back out of Wisconsin, and he played soccer growing up. If you recognize that last name, we're going to talk about the athletic family the Ogunbowale family is, because Dare is not the only one. We'll catch the end of Good Morning Football to see that. But it was just a weird game with a ton of scoring, which is fun to watch. The CBS second crew was on it. And then for the Texans to come out, and now they already have amassed more wins than they did last season. DeMeco Ryans, that's just a really great game for the Texans. Second place in their division. And they already beat the first-place team once, the Jaguars.
What family are you going to talk about?
Ogunbowale.
Amazing.
Wow. Nailed it.
What a professional.
Gino Marchetti, one of the great Baltimore Colts.
I'm not familiar with Gino Marchetti.
Yeah, just
what
a legendary Colt. Just a legendary Colt.
Gino Ogunbowale, are you familiar?
Yeah, I think that should
I wish it was
They give out an award for
listen, the games are so hard to pick, and we talked a lot about Cowboys-Eagles and Dolphins-Chiefs. I thought the Dolphins were going to win that game. I said it last week. You know what game was not hard to pick? Raiders, Giants. This was the most obvious, and it's not because of the Giants. The Giants are the Giants, sure. You knew the Raiders were going to win. You knew you're going to know that sweet, sweet adrenaline injection of the interim head coach. Somehow it's always this fiery guy with the rhetoric who's a player favorite, whether it be Dan Campbell back in the day or Antonio Pierce for the Raiders.
Rich Blasucci.
Anybody, you name it. It's never like some quiet, understated guy. It's like the Raiders were having a party yesterday.
Cigars.
An actual party afterwards. Like, I think if they were allowed, they would have cigars on the sideline, in the huddle. Listen, Josh McDaniels has a whole drawer full of Super Bowl rings, and I'm sure a wonderful family and a lot of great memories in the NFL. Yesterday will not be one of them. The most obvious, I don't even recognize this Raiders team from the week before. Yeah. Now listen, just understand, Raiders fans. It's a 1 week boost. It often falls off dramatically. You remember last year the Colts hired Jeff Saturday out of an ESPN studio. They come out and win, and then after that it was not great. Let's just say that. I don't know if the Raiders are going to be gangbusters. They got a few schedules comes up. Their schedule coming up is tough, but I'm happy for them at least because they finally looked like they were happy. This is the most miserable franchise we saw for the first 6 weeks. Had a party yesterday. Raiders, get after one. We're better when you're better.
And AP at the end, like every great coach should do after a win. See you on Wednesday. That's like the best 3 words for any player to hear. See you Wednesday. He gave him the extra day off.
Extra 2 days
winning.
to themselves. So winning creates time off.